Good evening everybody, welcome back to another walk video here from Aruba. Today we are, or actually tonight, we are here in the district of Santa Cruz and we're going to take a walk here in this neighborhood of Aruba, and I'll try to have a map of where I'm walking. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ido and I make Aruba content. Some walk videos, some travel vlogs occasionally, and I have featured the Huchada, which we are situated, or we're starting our walk. Huchada is a popular breakfast, especially a popular breakfast spot here in the district of Santa Cruz, and we are walking more or less south along this road. And the Huchada is also an area, or actually a place, where many people stop on the way to either go off-roading, or when they're coming back, they often like to stop there for some snacks, something to drink, but also they do have lunch also if you are into that. We are going to walk along this road, so there will be some traffic noise, unfortunately. And I am showing you the new Peking bar and restaurant, Chinese place that has been in existence for quite a few years. And I do believe many years I was in there, but haven't been back. But it's still there. I'm sure that fellow locals could tell me or tell us more about it in the comments. I'm gonna go across the road here to show you the Amistad also. Amistad is I don't know if a restaurant. Do they have tables in there? They do seem to have some tables. It is a restaurant in any case. They do have some tables outside. It's also quite popular, as you can see, many cars here. And this is the way we'll continue on this road. There's, the Santa Cruz is definitely one of those districts that is very much worth visiting, and quite frankly, to me, it's one of the most interesting ones, not just for this road, but also just the whole area onto itself is very, very interesting, with like a country style to it on the back roads, and a lot of the typical old Aruban houses, which is this one here. This is one of them. Not in the best shape, but this is more or less what they look like. Now on the other side you can find the Natis or Natis. Not sure how to spell it exactly. I'm gonna see if I can cross the road again. And this one is more or less a burger place, and I do believe they might sell like local goodies like the pastéis, the burgers, probably fries, chicken. I see ice cream and such things. I haven't been to this one, but Marlene has, and she told me it's very interesting, very good. And we do have a pharmacy also here. It's closed right now. So let's see this walk. At what time did we start? More or less we started like 8:30. So that's the reason why some things will be closed. Let me cross, since there is a pedestrian. Now this is one of those things that when you see this, even a police car passing, they are not going to always stop for you. So be careful when you are crossing the road in Aruba. while it is a law, unfortunately, they don't always stop. Most of the times in the hotel area, it's no issues. Cars are driving a little bit, but less speed. But over here, it sometimes isn't. This is, I don't know if it's a police station officially anymore. Used to be. It might still be. But last time I got my driver's license, it was here. And I am going to only assume that this is still the building that you need to be. So in case that you are living here and you don't know much about Aruba, this might be the place you need to be, unless it has changed. And excuse me for not having that information. And right next to it is the MFA Santa Cruz, the multifunctional building. We call them MFA. And here is where you could probably, or rather you can pay usually your taxes, and then your energy bill and water bill, and I do believe the telephone bill maybe. Not sure about that one, but then you get some other government departments like the Salimar, which is, the Salimar is the local trash company, like owned by the government at least. We do have another one, that's the Ecotech. That's the private one. And I know, being a night video, we will have some areas that are going to be a little darker than the usual. And I'm gonna try to do somewhat of a quick walk here. But in any case, to our right, even though I'm not going to show it, there's no mean to turn the camera right now because it's so dark. But on our right side, you can see the Serinoka normally during the day, and you'll see a cross on top of some rocks. And Serinoka, I do have a video quite a long time ago, one of my, you could say one of my first walk videos. Some folks back then even were surprised that they did not know about it. And even a lot of locals nowadays, especially the newer generation, does not, at least not all of them, know about it. It's quite dark on this side. We're going over a bridge. And Santa Cruz is also, you could say, like the birthplace of the former popular leader of Aruba, the Batico Cruz, which you may have heard the name somewhere. So he passed away quite a few years ago, 86, I do believe, 1986, if I'm not mistaken. And he was the leader back then. Or actually, when he passed away, he wasn't, but popular to this day because of the status aparte that he helped get us, the apart status within the Dutch kingdom. And I'm stopping here because this is the road coming up to our left is where you would take to go to the Arikok National Park. And during the day that would be, let's see if we can cross here. During the day that would be the road that you would start taking towards the park. So many of you might recognize it, even though at night everything looks a little bit different. and we do have a, this is, it's been here, this truck has been here, but I think it's changed to a curacao flavor. I do not like these guys. We call them pega pega. That's the first that's the first Papiamento word maybe for today. Pega pega, we call them pega pega. And pretty much that translates that it will stick. Pega pega. It will stick. And yeah, I don't like them too much, quite frankly. But they are protected by law, believe it or not. And so we're supposedly not allowed to kill them if you find them. And yeah, that is that. No comments. And the Mundo Novo is a very popular, probably the most popular supermarket here in the district of Santa Cruz. Of course, there are many other, but this is definitely one of, if not the most popular. So this is the road that you would take to the Aruba National Park. And we're gonna cross the road again, a little bit faster this time because there's a Jeep coming. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a church back there, the Santa Teresita, if I'm not mistaken. And I do promise that at some point in the future I will be doing an update of Santa Cruz during the day. Of course, during the day we'll look and it will look a whole lot brighter, and you would recognize more areas. But there are so many things to point out, and yet for us it's a district. Maybe for any one of you coming from a large country, it would be like a town. But for us it's a town or a district that has grown over the last few years, has grown a lot with a lot of new development. Now the Club Estrella is like a sport club, and they are very popular for football, so soccer in the US, very, very popular. And I don't know the standings or something like right now, but for many years they used to be like one of the better teams. But they also have other sports, so it's not just the soccer. Now we are here at the Plaza Status Aparte, Betico Cruz, and we're gonna take a look here. So they do have a plaza dedicated to Betico Cruz, as you can see, with a statue of him. And unfortunately no direct light on it, but more around it. So this is, you could say, like the corner. And if you can see the star that is built around it. Oh, there are lights, it's just not on. The star is the star that you can find on the Aruban flag. So it's a 4-point star. Is that the right way to say it in English? So it's not a 5-point. And I don't know for sure, but I've heard Aruba is the only country in the world that has a flag with a 4-point star. And correct me, feel free to correct me if I'm botching English here and there, no problem. It's always good to keep learning. And apart from the many things, you can also find like food trucks, food stands in this area. And you will ask me, is it worth trying? Of course they are worth trying, you know, depending on what your favorite things are, but many of them will sell just about the same thing. That's the only kind of like unfortunate thing. But fortunately there are many other choices, as we will see next. And I'm laughing a little bit sarcastically. Let's see if, thank you. We'll hurry up because they were nice. And I am laughing a little bit sarcastically because this road with time, it became a McDonald's. Well, we'll see it. We'll see it as we walk. So you guys can start counting these places. You know, the McDonald's has been here though for quite a few years. And there is an ATM inside if you're looking for that. Maybe you're in this area. Or actually, the ATM may be actually at the Citgo and not at the McDonald's. And on the other side of the road, there's also the CMB Bank. You might try that one in case you're in this area. And let's see. You got the KFC coming up. We'll take a brief look here. We'll not go too close. So they do have a store inside also, so you can, just as you would have back home, they do have a store where you can buy goodies, bottle of water, things like that. I do believe that you can also buy beer inside. I'm talking about the Citgo now, the gas station. And I don't know if it's still the case, but you used to be able to buy beer at the KFC here in Aruba. Don't know if that's still the case. And it just started a light drizzle, and it has been raining a little bit last couple of weeks. And if it gets any worse, then I'm gonna try to get my umbrella out. I did come a little bit prepared, but was certainly hoping that it would not. It is definitely raining, but you might not see it on the video. And so yeah, we're already at our third place here, the Taco Bell. You might have heard of it. And I do come to the Taco Bell every so often here to the Santa Cruz Taco Bell. And on the opposite side we have the Centro Deportivo Libertador Betico Cruz. So again, the Betico Cruz, and that's like an indoor arena. That's pretty much like not the only one, but the most important one. And by the way, this is a bus stop. And it's probably going to be dark, but you get all of the routes and lines here. So unfortunately no light right now, but that's where you could go for it. And the Chill beer is the local beer, one of them at least. And it's also by the Balashi plant or factory, the company. So if you have already tried the Balashi, maybe you want to try the Chill. Chill is mostly compared to the like the Amstel Bright that we have here, and maybe the Corona that you might have back home, Corona Light and such. They are not very strong, but I do like them personally. Now let's go for another papiamento word in the meantime, and that's caminda. That's a road. This is a caminda, this is a road. And that's your second papiamento word. I see a barber shop and like a restaurant. They do have the saco there, the bag. That's something I will get into one of these days with my vlogs. This used to be, I know it looks like a castle from the other side of the road, but it's actually like a party place. I don't know if it's still open. I hope it is. So, you know, parties were not completely allowed during our difficult time that we've had. And, but now no restrictions anymore. I do hope you are enjoying this walk, and if you are, consider subscribing and giving it a like. And I always say, ask your questions below. I'll always be glad to answer them as best as I can. And if you just want to give a compliment, that's fine. Also, just say great walk. Hello, Jairo, I'm watching from this or that country, maybe this or that state, and tell me what you think about my videos. I do hope to have more vlogs also in the coming months ahead, weeks and months. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, and sometimes I do and I cannot keep up with editing, to be honest, and that's why sometimes some weeks or weekends I do not have new vlogs. Now, this is being the birthplace of Santa Cruz, the party that he belonged to, and also founded the party is the MAP, the MEP, Movimiento Electoral de Pueblo. And this is their, like their party's house, Casa de Partido, we call it. And you can see, for example, the current Prime Minister, Ms. Evelyn Cruz. She's our first female Prime Minister, and currently serving for, let's see, over 5 years already. So just before the pandemic. And yeah, we do have a parliament system with 21 seats. So it's a little bit different and kind of like more like the European system, I do believe. Maybe not a copycat of it, but certainly more like it. So we're gonna get back to the roadside so we can connect just a little bit more. And yeah, so the political parties here, there are two, you could say like large political parties without getting too much political in this video, which is not the intention of my videos, but you have the MAP and you have the AVP. The MAP is a yellow, known for the yellow color, and the AVP is for the green color. And sometimes they can be in the government all by themselves, and sometimes they do have to join some of the smaller parties, and then that's what's happening right now. So there are two parties in the government, and they will split the ministers. I do believe it used to be like 7 ministers. I do believe right now it's, oh, I'm gonna be so wrong about this. Try not to follow too much politics, quite frankly, but I do believe it's around 8. And wrapping up that one, we do find here the Weimar hardware store, but I do believe this one is closed, I do believe. It did shut down. It's still open elsewhere. But I do believe this one is closed. Let me see if I can go here. So the Sensei Sushi Bar I have eaten here, not lately, but I thought they were actually pretty good and a lot cheaper than on the Palm Beach side especially. So if you're looking for some like more local spot, you might want to check it out. Or if you're staying maybe even in an Airbnb in this area, you can check it out. And then we have the subway. You may have heard of that one too. It does have a drive-through, but it seems like it's closed tonight, or maybe for now it's closed, I don't know. But they do have a drive-through, and I know that some of them, some of the subways here do have that. I think at least one more has it. I do see another ATM back here, so if you are in this neighborhood, no worries, you should be able to get some cash if that's what is needed. So along comes the Burger King also. And this is fairly new. There used to be another restaurant in this area, or in this building rather, and haven't visited this Burger King myself actually, but it looks, from the outside, it looks really good and really much bigger than when you pass by the road. Definitely much bigger. And of course they do have the drive-through also. So lots of junk food here along the road, but also some of the local spots. So don't overlook those, definitely not. And I do hope that in the future I will be able to, you know, like spotlight some of them also. So we have come to the end of this walk with a telephone booth. That's not really a telephone booth. But maybe during the day you could take photos there or something. But I did want to show this place, which is the Tri-Bike Aruba. And so yeah, they do have a lot of, it's very popular for biking, especially probably the top, or one of the top biking shops here on the island. And they do also have some other sporting goods and you know, clothing for you hiking. I've bought for example, my hiking shoe here, and it's turned out to be really good. And yeah, so this is a popular spot for many of the bikers when they go in this neighborhood to go do their mountain biking, etc. Guys, nothing further. Hope you like this episode, this walk. Really. And let me know what you think of it, and see you next time, guys. Bye bye, have a great weekend. Bye bye, guys.